Hello and welcome to today's trauma-informed yoga practice that is suitable for people who have hypermobility or ehlers-danlos syndrome or POTS. This practice is going to focus on a lot of yoga shapes that help to build up some strength while we work through some gentle mobility as well. So feel free to grab your yoga mat and get into something comfortable, and we'll get started. You can join me today on your back starting this practice. So find a comfortable shape on your back, working through a bit of mobility before we move into some strength. And we'll go back and forth between the two throughout the whole class. Ground down into the moment. Notice your body on the mat. Notice how your body feels today. And if your legs aren't bent, you can bend them now so that your feet are resting on the mat. And if you choose, you can gently rock the knees side to side, bringing both over to the left and then both over to the right, getting some mild movement throughout the low back and the hips here. Moving through perhaps a smaller range of motion than you would usually move through. And continue to focus on the breath here. Nice, relaxing, gentle breaths. And when you're ready, you can stop the legs in the middle, keeping these knees bent. Working through a pelvic tilt here. So imagining you're wearing a belt buckle and just gently bringing it up towards your belly button. If that imagery doesn't work for you, you can think about tucking your tailbone under. And just move a few times back and forth with this. A gentle tuck of the tailbone, hold for a few moments, and then relax. And just as in all my videos, the practice is completely your own. If there's something that doesn't work for your body, doesn't feel good, you can change what you're doing, you can modify, you can take a break, whatever works. Now, as you're doing this pelvic tilt, if it feels comfortable for you, you could move into a glute bridge from here. So instead of tilting the pelvis as you tilt, you also lift the glutes up in the air. Holding for a second, and then coming back down. And when you do lift the glutes up, trying to keep that spine straight, trying not to overarch the spine. Couple more of these if you're joining me. Utilizing those leg muscles, those back muscles, the glute muscles, the core, lots of different muscles working here. Last one, gentle lift. And coming back down. And perhaps you windshield wiper those knees a little bit again, get a different sensation, a different movement throughout the body here. And slowly and safely in your own time, you can come up to hands and knees. Once on hands and knees, if you need support for the wrists, feel free to grab a pillow or for under the knees as well. We'll move through some gentle cat-cows here. So on an inhale, you can lower the stomach to the ground. That tailbone can go up, head can look forward, paying attention to your mobility and what feels good for you. Exhale, round throughout the spine, chin to chest, tailbone goes under. Inhale, lower to the ground and working through some cat-cows, moving at your own speed, finding the movements that feel good for your body. And if you get dizzy or lightheaded, you can always take a break. Last one. And I invite you to come back to that neutral spine here. So that back is nice and straight. Another little strength exercise here. Putting a little bit more support through the hands here, keeping those fingers nice and wide. You're going to lean the body slightly over to the right knee, just slightly. And then you're going to take that left leg behind you. You could just kind of plop the toe there, or you could lift the whole leg up in the air. Hold for a breath. And then come back down. And we'll do a few of these on one side. Lifting the leg as high as feels comfortable. Lowering. Once again, trying to think about that straight back, that neutral spine here so that we're not arching too much throughout the back. Once more on the side. And then bringing that knee under, putting the weight a little bit more to the left side. And then repeating the same on the right side. So maybe you tap the toe, maybe you lift the whole leg up. Same thing on this side. Keep that back nice and strong. Last one on this side. And then come back to hands and knees. If there's any movements that are calling to you here, feel free to do that. And we'll come into a low lunge when you're ready. So up onto that right knee, the left leg is going to go forward. So we're in a bit of a lunge here. Body nice and tall, nice and strong. So the option here to stay exactly like this, maybe feel a bit of a stretch through that bottom leg, maybe feel a bit of balance working through that top leg. If you would like a little bit more strength, you can curl that back toe under so that you are on the balls of the back foot. And then we'll move through a few where on an inhale we lift, come up to high lunge, exhale, come back down. And hold here for a breath or two. I'll be giving 2 more of those if you'd like to join me. Inhale, lift to high lunge. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up to high lunge. Exhale, lower down. Great, you could tuck that back toe under and just stay in this low lunge for a moment here. Maybe tilting that pelvis underneath again, bit of a pull through the front quad here. Take a moment to relax and breathe in. And in your own time, switching legs here. So that left knee is going to go down, that right foot is going to come forward. Exactly the same thing on this side. So could decide to stay in the low ledge, could join me in going up and down. If you're joining me, bring that back toe up so you're on the ball of the foot. And as you inhale, lift. And as you exhale, lower. A little breath break in between. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Amazing. Last one. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And you can tuck that foot back under again and just stay in this low lunge for a moment. And bringing your hands down in front of you, you can take that right leg, bring it back, move it to a child shape here. So knees could stay together, or you could widen them as wide as your mat and just bring the hips back towards the glutes. Arms can go forwards. Gentle stretch here for the low back. Taking a moment to relax and reset. Maybe you bend the elbows and you let the headrest on the mat, really sinking into the moment. Few more breaths if you are still with me here. And then making your way back onto your back. Ending with a few more gentle stretches on the back here. Can have the left leg straight or bent, whatever feels better for you. The right knee is going to come to chest and just give it a bit of a hug here. Maybe you kind of circle the hip or move side to side depending on what feels good for your hips and your back. Knowing that the rest of your body is supported here on the mat. Letting that right knee drop, bringing the left knee up and repeating the same thing on the left side. Some gentle rocks. Bringing that left knee down, legs are bent, feet on the mat, and a couple more of those windshield wiper rocks side to side. You can take those legs and fly them down if that feels good for you. Bring those arms above your head. Just do a nice full body stretch here. And let everything go. Find that final resting shape for you. Tune back into the breath here. Trying to calm the breath, calm the body, calm the mind. Nice deep inhales and exhales. Thank you so much for joining me today and practicing with me. Hope you enjoyed this mixture of some strengthening, stretching yoga. You can rest here with your breath as long as you would like. I'll see you next time.